Oh, it's Friday. It's Friday, guys. Did you see that Fox News put out like a little comedy sketch attacking Trump? And Vance, they're front-running people for like no reason. Just kidding. They would never do that. That's the Democrats.
From the state that brought you President Ronald Reagan and Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger comes an exciting new politician ready for his close-up. Audiences and critics agree Gavin Newsom is inspiring, savvy, and charismatic, and has awesome tweets. He's now playing in select venues, but is preparing to be released nationwide. This is the Daily Showography of Gavin Newsom, leading man, for your consideration. Gavin Christopher Newsom was born in 1967 to a family that was as San Francisco as stepping on a syringe in the Tenderloin.
Safran, fifth generation.
And thus began Newsom's classic rags to riches story.
My father, his closest friends in the world, were some of the richest families in the world.
Fine, he's a Nepo baby, but so is Dakota Johnson, and we love her. Plus, Newsom can also do the humble beginnings thing.
I grew up with a single mom, and she came from nothing. She struggled all her life.
You see that? He can play rich and poor. That's what I call range.
Christian Bale has nothing on this guy.
After going to college on a baseball scholarship, Gavin followed in the footsteps of so many young graduates by opening a winery. With nothing but his grit,
Why would the Daily Show do this slop? I think Newsom comes off as more establishment. I mean, he definitely is, right? He might be California, but he's like, compared to, well, I wouldn't say actually Bernie or AOC, compared to like your, I don't even know what the fuck, I don't even know who you could bring up anymore. I don't know. Well, there are no politicians, I guess, compared to what they would like to see in office, I guess, yeah. Educational satire is the best. They're trying to appease lefties or both sides it. No, it's just like an audience that's probably quite further left. And my guess is the Daily Show. Actually, I don't know who watches the Daily Show. Back in my day, it wouldn't surprise me if like the average age of like the Jon Stewart Daily Show viewership was like 30 or younger, maybe, because it was on Comedy Central, and Comedy Central skewed pretty young, right? It was like, I want to say it was like lower end of Gen X and, or maybe like middle, lower Gen X and then below in terms of age. Whereas like all the news stations are like, Fox News' average age is like fucking 74 or something. Fox News average viewer age, insane. Sorry, 69. Oh, I need a woo yeah button. It's approximately 31 for, I wonder if this has gone up over time. I don't remember for Comedy Central, maybe. Your boy, Piotr Kurzin, interviewed Sarah Payne.
I think my concern...
Oh, we emailed back and forth. Man, this guy sets off so many bullshit alarms for me, but I feel like every conversation we've had has been pretty good. I hope this guy's not terrible. Something that needs to change is we need video recordings in federal courtrooms, okay? God damn it. Why don't we have these? What about him makes the bullshit alarms go off? I don't know. I like epic centricity vibes. Like I should set off a lot of that too, I think, in some people, depending on what you're listening from me. But yeah, I don't think I've ever heard him say anything like, oh, this guy's kind of, oh. Important check to make sure you're keeping up with the Silicon Valley software development buzzwords. Oh shit, am I missing some? Be Me, applied scientist at Amazon. Spent 6 months building ML model that actually works. Ready to ship. Manager asks, but does it dive deep? Show him 37 pages of technical documentation. That's great, Anon. But what about customer obsession? Model literally convinces customers to buy more stuff they don't need. Okay, but are you thinking big enough? I think if I ever had a corporate job, no, actually, never mind. If it was a corporate job, this is perfect. If I ever had like an engineering job and I'm getting things, concepts for my management, and it's 2 nouns with like the first letter of each one capitalized, I think that would be the end for me. I think I would rope. I don't think I could do it. I don't think it would be that. It'd be the 2 nouns with the capital letters. This is real. This is 100% real. Yeah, no, I don't die. Or I just read dive. I don't doubt it. I wouldn't be able to. My face when I am literally increasing sales. Okay, let's ship it. PM says there's not enough disagree and commit. We need to disagree about something. Team spends 2 hours debating whether the config file should be YAML or JSON. Engineering insists on XML for backwards compatibility. What backwards compatibility? This is a new service. Doesn't matter. We disagree and commit to XML. Finally get approval to deploy. Make sure you're frugal with the compute costs. Model runs on a potato, costs $2 a month. Finance still wants a cost breakdown. Write 6-pager about why we need $2 a month. Include bar raiser in the review. Bar raiser asks, but can we do it for $1.50? We need to be frugal. Spend another month optimizing to hit $1.50. Ready to deploy again. VB decides we need to invent and simplify. Request we rebuild the entire thing using a new framework. Framework doesn't exist yet. Show some ownership and build it yourself. 3 months later, framework is half done. Org restructure happens. A new manager says this doesn't align with team goals anymore. Project cancel. Model never ships. Manager gets promoted to L8 for successfully reallocating resources. Team celebrates with 6-pager retrospective about what we learned. My face when we delivered on all 16 leadership principles. My face when we delivered nothing else. Amazon.jpg.
Let me be as straight as I can be about the choice of economic policies that you are going to face. And I'm going to start with the story that not every Republican, but most Republican candidates up and down the ticket are telling. And it goes something like this. And I think this is pretty fair, and if you don't, then you can look it up. So they're basically...
This is what happens when you have moron managers who don't deserve their jobs, who think they need to push back in order to prove their worth. You want to know what I think it is? Ready? Big take. This is what happens when consumers have too much money. That's what's really going on. Because what happens is if you have a thing that you could make and you can ship this thing and your profit margins are like 10,000% and you're making all this money, you can return a certain amount to shareholders. But like at some point, you're like, okay, well, that's kind of goofy. Like, are we really like, is the return on investment this much? We should probably like build something else or like invest in something else. Let's hire people. Okay. Well, how much should we pay him? I don't know. Does he have a comp sci degree? All right. He wants to move to California? All right. Start him at $140K a year. Are you sure? He's only 22. Yes. Okay. Now what? I don't know. Let's just start building shit because we have literally unlimited coffers. We can only buy back so much stock. We can only like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like there's so much money that flows through a lot of the tech stuff right now. Like I feel like we're in like I don't want to say like a tech bubble like the 2000s, but like I just think there's a lot of money that's like flowing around that area now. And when you have it, when you give a ton of money to CEOs or to management or to team leads or whatever the fuck. When you have huge budgets, you want to spend it on shit. And then I think you get into this weird black hole of like, okay, we spent a ton of money, but we didn't get much for it, but we're still making so much money on like our core products. So like, let's like figure out some bullshit organizing principles to try to make it work better next time. But like, you're still making a fuck ton of money. It's like, I don't know. That's how I feel sometimes. But I could be totally off on that. That's a vibe check. All right.
The big story is America's working class, America's middle class, families like yours have been victimized by a big, bloated federal government run by a bunch of left-wing elitists like me. And the government's taking your hard-earned tax dollars and it's giving them to freeloaders and welfare cheats, and we're strangling business with endless regulations, and this federal government is letting immigrants and foreigners steal whatever jobs Obamacare hasn't killed yet.
The real issue is when people have that mentality in startups that aren't making money, they hire tons of people, then lay them all off like 1 year when nothing works. That's because Dan's not here, is he? Remember, this is the first step of my big anti-capitalist personal feelings on the current U.S. capital environment. That's because of the cancerous ability to sell businesses. You should not be able to ever sell one business to another. Ever. Ban all of it. Ban all of it. No horizontal mergers, no vertical mergers. You shouldn't be able to do it. Because when you're in the startup environment, my impression is, okay, well, I own a startup, Destiny.gg, okay. My impression is, who the fuck cares about profit and loss? What? I barely care about revenue. I'm all about user acquisition, baby. Because if I acquire enough users, I don't give a fuck. I could be setting $1 million of cash on fire every 2 seconds. Because once you have the user base, somebody will monetize it in the future, or maybe they won't even monetize it. They'll funnel it to whoever buys me, right? Which is bullshit. Which is why those companies all burn through so much fucking money and why they don't, and then the money gets thrown around like crazy. Fuck all that shit, okay? No more. No more selling your business to anybody, okay?
No, look, I'm being serious here.
I'm a dumb fuck. Can you explain again how owning a majority of share in a company doesn't mean you own or control the company, i.e. the BlackRock talking points? I don't know how that plays into the BlackRock talking points, but so in a very basic sense, I'm not gonna be able to explain all this. Dan would know better. I'm pretty sure I have the gist of it though. Let's say that I have a company. Let's say that my company has 100 shares. Okay, as long as me and enough friends have 51% of the shares, I can technically decide anything I want to do. That's not illegal, like stealing from the other people, whatever, right? I can do whatever the fuck I want with this company, basically. I can make any decisions. I can hire, fire the CEO. I can do whatever the fuck I want, okay? Now, let's say that you want to sell public shares, but now you're also kind of like worried about diluting your decision-making capabilities, right? Okay, well, like, because if I sell another 100 shares, right? Let's say I put another 100 shares on the market. Well, my ownership and my decision-making ability has been reduced to 25.5%. These guys are at 24.5%. Did I do this right? That sounds not right. I don't know. Close enough. No, 25.4%. No, yeah. Yeah. Don't doubt. Okay. And now all these free market people can buy it, and maybe there's some weird shit that can happen. Oh, who knows? Who knows? But one thing you can do is, okay, well, let's make different types of shares. Okay. Some shares we can have, and I don't know if they call those preferred stock or whatever bullshit or whatever, but like these shares over here, these are voting shares. These are the ones that give you the power to vote. And these shares over here are suck my dick shares. They're money, you can buy and sell them or whatever, but they don't give you the ability to make decisions about the company. So like, somebody might make this up, but like I think like Mark Zuckerberg wasn't like 10 or 12% of Facebook stock, but like 81% of the preferred stock or the ownership stock that let him make decisions. So like even if they sell some stock, or even if they have like a small amount of stock, they have a majority of the ownership is it called preferred stock? What stock do you own that lets you vote company board? Basically something like that, yeah. Common stock, AB shares, non-voting shares, something like that. Maybe the AB shares, the big ones. Common stock gives you decisions on like other things, and then their non-voting shares. Yeah. But anyway, basically shit like that. Yeah. So just because somebody owns 51% of the outstanding stock of a company doesn't necessarily mean that they have the correct type of stock to vote and do whatever they want or take over shit.
That's the story that's been...
Do you think companies like Google and Meta should be broken up? Like, absolutely. I think it's a no-brainer. I just think it's just crazy. If you care about like monopolies or antitrust, remember, you can make pros and cons about monopolies. Monopolies are not strictly good. Monopolies are not strictly bad. They just have advantages and disadvantages. But insofar as if we believe there shouldn't be monopolies, where they're not required to be monopolies, then we should break them up. And I don't see a compelling reason why. There are just things that I don't understand. I've complained about this forever. Like the fact that Facebook owns like Facebook, the Messenger app, WhatsApp, Instagram, and Snapchat. Why? That's bonkers. That's bonkers. Wait, oh, not Snap, Threads, my bad. Wait, didn't somebody buy Snapchat a long time ago, or am I crazy? They're still a failing public company. Oh, never mind. Two local restaurants are running side by side. One is more successful. The other decides to close. They want to sell. The other wants to acquire. The kitchen infrastructure is in place, but you can't sell because why under your no business? Because you don't go bankrupt, and then they can buy your property on a fucking bankruptcy foreclosure market.
No, look, I'm being serious here. I mean, that's the story that's been told. And I haven't, turned on Fox News or listened to conservative talk radio yet today, but I've turned them on enough over these past 7.5 years to know I'm not exaggerating in terms of their story. That's the story they tell. You can hear it from just about every member of Congress on the other side of the aisle. And instead of telling you what they're for, they've defined their economic agenda by what they're against. And that's...
What state is he doing this speech in? He's in D.C. That's not a state. Nice trick question. He's the president. They're not allowed to speak outside of D.C.
It's mainly being...
Don't be fooled by the flags in the background.
...against me. And their basic message is anti-government, anti-immigrant, anti-trade, and let's face it, it's anti-change.
Did he say?
Anti-trade, and let's face it, it's anti-change.
Change, anti-change. Oh. Bro, is my brain like finally tuned to just hear racist things where they're not there?
Anti-immigrant, anti-trade, and let's face it, it's anti-change.
Okay.
And look.
What happens when if you want to exit your startup, just sell your business piecemeal? You don't do startups. You start a business if you want to own a business and run a business. That's it. That's what you should do.
A lot of people believe it. And if what they were saying were true, I suppose it would make sense to run on a platform of just rolling back everything we've done over these past 7.5 years, and happy days would be here again. If what they were saying was true, then just being against whatever it is that we've done might make sense. But what they're saying isn't true. And if we're going to fix what's really wrong with the economy, we've got to understand that. So let me just do some quick myth busting.
Quick myth busting. Did I miss these? Oh, man. The truisms. I should just call it myth busting, true. But yeah, the truisms.
And I'm going to start with the biggest myth, which is that the federal government keeps growing and growing and growing and wasting your money.
The number of employees, I think, has remained about the same for like the past 30 years or something, right?
Giving your tax dollars to people who don't deserve it. Now, here's the truth. You can look it up. These journalists here, they can do some fact checking. As a share of the economy, we spend less on domestic priorities outside of Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. We spend less than we did when Ronald Reagan was president. When President Reagan or George W. Bush held this job, our deficits got bigger. When Bill Clinton and I have held this job, deficits have gotten smaller. Our deficits have not grown these past 7.5 years. We've actually cut the deficit by almost 75%. Moreover, there are fewer families on welfare than in the 1990s. Funding has been frozen for 2 decades. But there's not a whole bunch of giveaways going on right now. Aside from our obligation to care for the elderly and Americans with disabilities, the vast majority of people who get help.
I'm sorry, hold on. Oh. What is our deficit as a percentage of GDP now? What is our GDP? What is our deficit? Is our GDP in the 30-ish, 40 trillion? Wait, hold on. I have no idea. US GDP. 31.10 trillion. And then our last budget deficit in 2025 was 1.8 trillion. Which is what is that, around 6 or 7%? As a percentage of GDP, I guess our... Wait, hold on. Why am I... Oh, it's like right here. I just look it up. No. Budget deficit as a percentage of GDP, Fred. We always ask Fred. Okay, it's getting worse, but it's actually not. This is actually nowhere near as bad as I envisioned it, I guess. Although the deficit is just your shortfall. I guess the other two numbers that would be big are interest payment on the debt as a percentage of GDP, Fred, and total U.S. debt as a percentage of GDP, Fred. Because these are cumulative numbers and they can fuck you up a little bit more, maybe. Interest as a percentage of GDP. Okay. Yeah, it's starting to spike, but okay, even that's not as catastrophic, I guess, as I would have thought in my brain. And then this has grown quite significantly, though. This is a big duder. Total debt. Okay. In 2000, we go from 55% up to 121%. That's a big meme. Iraq war spending. I don't know how that would show up in terms of... I don't know how that would show up. I don't think I have the macro econ brain for it. Because we spent a lot more money, but a lot of it was being used to pay military people. So a lot of that money is also cycling back into the economy. Or even if you're talking about like corrupt stuff like paying Halliburton or whatever, that money is also cycling back into the economy because that's a U.S. business or whatever too, right? I'm not sure. Debt as a percentage of GDP. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Well, I guess technically most government money, well, I guess everything cycles back in at some point, right? Except for when those Somalis steal our money and they send it to their country and then set it on fire.
More feet striving to get back into the middle class. And sometimes, yes, their kids need temporary help from food stamps when mom and dad are between jobs. But look, these kids didn't cause the financial crisis. These kids aren't spending us into bankruptcy. They're not what's holding back the middle class. And by the way, neither is Obamacare. Let's look at the numbers. Again, I'm just giving facts here. I will have some opinions later, but right now I'm just giving facts. I signed the Affordable Care Act into law over 6 years ago. Since then, our businesses have created jobs every single month. We did this while covering 20 million Americans who didn't have health insurance, ending discrimination against pre-existing conditions for everybody, including those who had health insurance, dramatically.
God damn, that was a big one. God damn, that was some slavery shit, bros. Ooh, those were rough times. When you got diagnosed with a chronic illness and you had a job, that became your fucking slavery for the rest of your life. Oh, man.
And dramatically slowing the rate at which healthcare costs were going up. In the decade before Obamacare, employer-based premiums grew by an average of 8% a year. That meant you were paying that much more every year for health insurance. Last year, they grew by 4%, half as fast as they were growing. That doesn't mean you're happy about the 4%, but it wasn't 8. Today, the average family's health insurance premium is $2,600 less than it would have been if premiums had kept on going up at the pace before Obamacare. And by the way,
why do right-wingers and people like Cenk hate Obamacare? Right-wingers said they hated it in the past because socialism or something cringe and retarded. Cenk and the lefties hate it because they feel like it didn't go far enough. And when you're rich, it's very easy to have a set of beliefs. You call them luxury beliefs, where you basically say all or nothing, because it's not actually all or nothing for you. You always have what you need. It's all or nothing for your social virtue signaling.
For folks here in Indiana, last year, most Hoosiers who shopped around for Obamacare on healthcare.gov found plans that cost $75 a month or less. For the millions of Americans who buy on healthcare.gov, they get tax.
I read through the Cato Institute study on effects of immigration on the economy, and it's actually so crazy how beneficial immigrants are, even illegal immigrants, towards the economy. They likely helped us stave off a debt crisis. I mean, like, it's one of those things where, you know, I always say this sometimes, especially for art, but I mean, for math, for anything, it's true. Sometimes it's good to take a step back and just like look at things like, hold on, what am I broadly perceiving from this? Right? Broadly. Like, I don't want to get lost so much in the numbers and the formulas and the whatever else that I'm not actually understanding what's going on, right? Would more people make for a bigger economy? Like on well, that seems to probably track, right? Like, who are the two largest economies, developing economies people I think are talking about? One is obviously China. China's a lot of people. India. India has a lot of people, right? Like, maybe it's a coincidence? Probably not, right? More, again, labor is a huge input into your economy, the ability to have people to work jobs to sell more shit, and consumption is a big part of your economy, right? Your gross domestic product. The idea that adding more people to an economy would make the economy grow, that's like, something has to be going very wrong for that not to be the case, which is possible, by the way. Not in the United States, it hasn't been the case. But so yeah, when people, but it's so stupid, because if you want to start the conversation on immigration, you have to fight even from that square. Do immigrants actually help the economy? Yes. Well, maybe the high skill ones. No, you fucking retard. All of them do. Not every single one, but broadly speaking, all groups of immigrants will boost the economy. It's more workers, it's more consumers. Definitionally, it's going to make for a bigger economy.
Found plans that cost $75 a month or less. For the millions of Americans who buy on healthcare.gov, they get tax credits to help them pay for it. The average price increase this year has been $4 a month. It hasn't been a double-digit percentage hike. $4 a month. But my bigger point is to bust this myth of crazy liberal government spending. Government spending is not what is squeezing the middle class. Myth number 2 is the notion that my administration has killed jobs through overregulation. Now, you know, back in the 60s and the 70s, government was adding all kinds of regulations. Rules protecting workers' rights, rules protecting the environment. And these regulations to improve public health and safety, they didn't crush the economic growth that took place back in the 60s and the 70s, and they're not crushing economic growth now.
If more immigrants of whatever status are always a boon to the economy, why does any country bother with immigration laws? For a variety of reasons. So one, there are reasons beyond the economy why you might care about immigration. You don't want people sneaking into your country and doing terrorist attacks. You don't want people, having like easy access to your country for the purposes of like drug or sex trafficking. And then also a second thing is, for some countries, there might be such a welfare state or a set of policies enacted such that immigrants aren't always necessarily a boon to your economy. They could become huge fiscal drains. So if you have a country with extremely generous welfare benefits and a country that makes it very hard to find work after a year or two, then, you know, these are the issues that you might run into. Like, but there are like European countries, I'm pretty sure for like Sweden and Germany, these are the only two I've ever looked at, and not in like any great level of detail, but like you'll have issues where immigrants will come in, like legal asylum seekers will come in, and they'll be there for like a year, and because of the laws or whatever else, like they're having fairly generous welfare benefits, but they can't even work. They're not even legally allowed to work. But in the United States, that's just not what we have. We don't have that here. One, we don't really have much in terms of welfare benefits, number one. And number two, people come here illegally to work. People sneak in this motherfucker illegally to get a job. That's the idea that it's just such a different selection criteria. It's such a different selection criteria.
I've issued fewer regulations than my predecessor. I've issued fewer executive orders than any two-term president since Ulysses S. Grant. That's a long time ago.
Nobody cares about this shit anymore. Yeah.
The regulations that we have issued, rules to protect our air and our water, rules to keep families from getting cheated when buying a house or investing their savings. Those rules have benefited our economy a lot more than they cost. They've helped families. They've helped the middle class. They haven't hurt them. Here's myth number 3. Other countries are killing us on trade. Now, it is true that a lot of supporters of trade deals in the past sometimes oversold all the good that it was going to do for the economy. The truth is the benefits of trade are usually widely spread. It's one of the reasons why you can buy that big flat screen TV for a couple $100, why the cost of a lot of basic necessities have gone down. Some parts of the economy, like the agricultural sector or the tech sector, have really done well with trade. Some sectors and communities have been hurt by foreign competition. And what's also true is sometimes the pain of a plant closing here in America is magnified when you know that other countries are cheating. They're keeping American goods out of their markets. They're unfairly subsidizing their businesses to undercut our businesses.
The majority of immigrants coming to Germany are not refugees. Talking about a very specific subject. Yeah, I'm talking more in the wake of 2013 and everything. I don't know how much of a problem that is anymore. That's the only time I ever. It's like 7 or 8 years ago in looking into that stuff. So I'm not even saying that was representative of European immigration now or whatever. I'm just saying that, generally speaking, for the United States, we got big oceans on both sides of us. So generally, only the best of the best are making it from any country there. And then from South America, most of those people that come here they're coming to work.
And a lot of the worst violators, they don't even have trade deals with us at all. So here's what we've done. Over the past 7 years, we brought more trade cases against other countries for cheating than anybody else. Every case that's been decided, America has won.
Boom!
That's what we've done. Making sure.
Wow, a rules-based international order. Crazy.
That we got a level playing field. But the truth is, trade has helped our country a lot more than it's hurt us. Exports help lead us out of the recession. Companies that export pay workers higher wages than folks who don't export. And anybody who says that somehow shutting ourselves off from trade is going to bring jobs back, they're just not telling the truth. In fact, most of the manufacturing jobs that we lost over the past decade, they weren't the result of trade deals. They were the result of technology and automation that lets businesses make more stuff with fewer workers. If you go into an auto plant these days, used to need several thousand workers. Now they need 1,000 workers to produce the same number of cars, just because they're robots and they're machines that have replaced a lot of the work. That's true in offices too, by the way. Think about bank tellers. Last time you dealt with one of those, because now you got ATM machines. So we can't put technology back in
ATM machines?
the box any more than we can cut ourselves off from the global supply chain. All the RVs that are manufactured right here, I guarantee you some of those parts came from someplace else, and then we sell them back to other parts of the world. And no matter how many tariffs we're threatening to slap on other countries' goods, no matter how many trade wars we start saying we're going to put in place, that's not going to help middle-class families here. In fact, independent economists say a trade war would trigger another recession and cost millions of jobs. So when you hear somebody threatening to cut off trade and saying that that's standing up for American workers, that's just not true.
When was the last time you used an ATM? Bruh. I don't know the last time I used a debit card was.
Here's the fourth myth, that immigrants are taking all of our jobs. Now let's look at the numbers. Right now, the number of people trying to cross our border illegally is near its lowest level in 40 years. It's near its lowest level in 40 years. It's lower than than it was before I came in office. It's lower than during Ronald Reagan's time. It's true that new immigrants sometimes compete for service and construction jobs, but they also start about 30% of all new businesses in America. Everybody thinks that immigrants come here and then they're getting all this stuff from the government. Immigrants pay a lot more in taxes than they receive in services.
True. How do you tip your building workers without cash? If I'm having to do some bullshit, then I'll bring cash with me. Ugh.
But most importantly,
but a lot of people now, well, I say a lot of people, at least in Miami Beach, a lot of people accept tips via Zelle.
Immigrants are not the main reason wages haven't gone up for middle-class families. Those decisions are made in the boardrooms of companies where top CEOs are getting paid more than 300 times the income of the average worker. So deporting 11 million immigrants, not only is that a fantasy, that would cost taxpayers billions of dollars and tear families apart, and just logistically would be impossible. Even if it were possible, it wouldn't do anything to seriously help the middle class. Mixing, so now what would help is if we fixed our immigration system the way I proposed, so that everybody plays by the rules, so that we got strong border security. But we also are making sure that families who've been here like 10 years, 20 years, that They're out of the shadows. They're paying taxes. They're going through a background check. That would grow our economy faster. That would shrink our deficits further. We just need a Congress that's willing to make it happen. We need a Congress that's willing to make it happen. So, look.
Did you get tips when you cleaned carpets? I don't think so. Sometimes, but it was very rare.
Here's my main point. The primary story that Republicans have been telling about the economy is not supported by the facts.
Never is.
It's just not. They repeat it a lot, but it's not supported by the facts. But they say it anyway. Now, why is that? It's because it has worked to get them votes, at least at the congressional level. Because, and here, look, I'm just being blunt with you. By telling hardworking middle-class families,
the U.S. banks not offer free immediate payments to people. What is the point of stuff like Cash App or Zelle? So sending money to people from bank to bank is really annoyingly hard in the U.S. I feel like in Europe it's not. I feel like Melina was able to do it with her. Like Melina would complain sometimes that a lot of the systems in Sweden were kind of like older or just annoying you to make phone calls instead of. But when it came to like transferring from like one bank to another, it was very easy. In the U.S., it sucks. I don't know why. It's so fucking annoying in the United States. Oh my fucking God. I had to pay, we were covering, we still haven't done this, covering travel. Dan's not here, is he? Wait. Okay, he hasn't spoken in a while. Dan told me this a while ago and I didn't give a fuck about it, okay? But we were trying to pay some dude. And so I go to wire him the money from my business account and I hate wiring money. I hate wiring money because like 35% of the time the numbers just don't fucking work. And so I'm trying this number over and over again. It's like, it's not letting me, this says it's not a good routing number. And so they show me the checks. They're like, oh no, look, this is a routing number. It's like, okay, they check their banks, routing. Okay. And so I start Googling around and so I Google the routing number and it's like, is it just showing up? And it's like, oh, this is a routing number that takes ACH transfers, but no wires. I don't even know what the fuck that means. What the fuck? And then every wire you send to the United States, or well, I say in the US, or Wells Fargo at least, it's like, I think it cost me $35 or $25 to wire money. And I'm like, bro, just miss me with all this shit. Oh my fucking God. Yeah, fuck, I hate sending money from bank to bank. In the US, it sucks shit. It's so horrible. And now to send money on Wells Fargo, the best way to do it is Wells Fargo, I don't know if they bought this or they integrated it. You send money with Zelle in your Wells Fargo account. And I'm like, why? So now if I want to send money with Zelle, I can go to the Zelle section and then I can like add somebody by their phone number. I don't know, bro. This shit is fucking AIDS. It's actual fucking AIDS cancer. Holy shit.
that the reason they're getting squeezed is because of some moochers at the bottom of the income ladder, because of minorities or because of immigrants or because of public employees or because of feminists or because poor folks who aren't willing to work.
But this is why in the United States, I don't know if these apps, maybe these would have never grown up in Europe, or maybe you don't use them in Europe, but this is why in the United States apps like PayPal started to get big when they realized, oh, wait, normal citizens want access to this, not just businesses. And then things like Cash App and Zelle is one. There's at least one other big one. I can't remember right now. Fuck. Venmo. Yeah, that's why these things all popped up in the United States, because we don't know how to send money to each other via our fucking bank accounts. Oh my God.
Employees or because of
like for some reason capitalism hasn't solved that one yet. We need an extra layer of companies to do this.
At the bottom of the income ladder, because of minorities or because of immigrants or because of public employees or because of feminists or because poor folks who aren't willing to work, they've been able to promote policies that protect powerful special interests and those who are at the very top of the economic pyramid. That's just the truth. I hope you don't mind me being blunt about this, but I've been listening to this stuff for a while now. And I'm concerned when I watch the direction of our politics. I mean, we have been hearing this story for decades. Tales about welfare queens, talking about takers, talking about the 47%. It's the story that is broadcast every day on some cable news stations, on right-wing radio. It's pumped into cars and bars and VFW halls all across America and right here in Elkhart.
What does that mean? VFW. Veterans Foreign Worker. I don't know what it means.
Right-wing radio. It's pumped into cars and bars and VFW halls all across America and right here in Elkhart.
Somebody said Veterans Lodge.
And if you're hearing that story all the time, you start believing it. It's no wonder people think big government is the problem. No wonder public support for unions is so low. No wonder that people think that the deficit's gone up under my presidency when it's actually gone down. No wonder that they did a survey, a lot of white Americans think reverse discrimination is as big a problem as discrimination against minorities, even though black unemployment is twice as high as white unemployment. And the typical Hispanic woman makes 55 cents for every dollar a white man earns. And there are only a handful of women running Fortune 500 companies. But that's the story that's been told. And I'm here to say, Elkhart, 7.5 years since I first came here, we've got to challenge the assumptions behind this economic story.
Yes, true. Man, who's this guy?
And the reason is, it has ended up dividing Americans who actually have common economic interests and should be working together for a better deal from the people who serve them.
True.
And it's made people cynical about government. And it's kept working families from pushing our political system to actually address our economic challenges in a realistic way. Families of all races and all backgrounds deserve higher wages. Families of all races and all backgrounds deserve quality health care and decent retirement savings. Every child in this country deserves an education that lets them dream bigger than the circumstances in which they're born.
Okay. What is this?
Randy in the flesh.
What's up, Charlie? How you doing?
You gotta send me commission on all the YouTube videos you make about me.
Anyway,
Okay. Peanut talks about his ViewBot situation.
Welcome, ViewBots! How are you ViewBots doing on this fine Thick Men Thursday, gentlemen? Would you look at that? Right on time, about 4 months has passed. We have another massive ViewBot allegation from someone who's obviously a billionaire. A billionaire yacht-owning, helicopter-licensed pilot, bitch having sex with type of fella. Let me tell you, I am honored.
Okay, best. I know it's said a lot, but this is maybe the most literal example of medieval peasant brain in America. Incredible dispatch from the GOP caucus in Clay County. "I'm a witch," the person exclaimed. "I hex all of you." The crowd stirred after hearing the words. When the person ultimately left, a man in the crowd called on the group to take a minute to pray. "We cancel that curse, that hex, in Jesus' name," the man said. "Amen," the crowd replied. After proclaiming the curse null and void, the group blessed the person, asking for divine intervention in the heckler's thinking. "Amen," the group concluded. Thank you. It's either this or land acknowledgements. Pick your poison. Oh, damn. I don't know which one would be more cringe. I feel like the hexing shit is kind of more funny, you know? I think I can handle this one because it comes from a more, like, privileged group of people. Like I could see a white woman hexing me and making fun of her for being a retard. But if there were people doing land acknowledgements, I feel like I'd feel bad, like, sorry, bow and arrow just didn't cut it, I guess. I feel worse making fun of those people. Ooh, what if it was like a black lady, though, that was hexing us? Ooh, that would get harder. I'm not sure. Uh-oh. Somebody linked me this. I haven't done like the deep dive into Joan, the lawyer that Pixie's dad got. Apparently she's been up to goofy stuff. Somebody sent me this case. This is like 30 years old, but So this is a court order concerning a mistrial or a new trial. The court has before it Tabor Partners Ones, the firsts, here and after Tabor. Motion for a new trial pursuant to FRCP 59A1. When you guys are in law school or when you're lawyers, what do you call federal rules of civil procedure? It's too much of a mouthful. Do you really say, there's no way you guys say FRCP. I've heard for law students, they'll say like taking Civ Pro or whatever. Just CP? Blah, 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 blah. Tabor's allegations. Oh, wait. Federal, does it have abbreviations in here? Often officially abbreviated FEDAR Civ P, colloquially FRCP. Lawyers really say that? They probably just say the number, I bet. I don't know. Tabor makes two allegations from which it contends that the jury was biased. First, plaintiff insinuates that the wife and daughter of the president of defendant company, Angela Schlump and Joan Schlump Peters, respectively, intimidated or influenced the jury in a prejudicial manner through their conduct during the trial. Next, Tabor alleges that a juror who had been excused from the jury panel engaged in ex parte communications with members of the jury prior to the beginning of deliberations and thereby prejudiced the jury verdict. That's a big no-no, right? So this means that a juror that was excused from the panel, as in excused, I'm assuming means dismissed, approached the jurors and had conversations with them before they began deliberations after they'd finished the presentation of the case to the jury. No, that's probably not good. It might even be having to do with that federal rule of civil procedure. Okay. Tabor submitted an affidavit signed by Mr. Eugene Romano, the principal owner and controlling director of Plaintiff Corporation, with its motion for a new trial stating that he has personal knowledge of the following. An individual juror, Mr. Sullivan Roland, was excused by the court from jury service before August 1st, 1995. On August 22nd, 1995, the day before the jury began deliberations, Mr. Romano asserts that he saw Mr. Sullivan Roland return to the courthouse around 1:30 p.m. and allegedly enter the jury room. Mr. Romano further asserts that he saw members of the jury return from their lunch recess and enter the passageway that led to the jury room. From these facts, Tabor infers that Mr. Sullivan Roland spoke with members of the jury. Tabor contends that any ex parte contact with the jury is presumptively prejudicial. I'm assuming presumptively prejudicial probably means that just the fact that you can show that meeting happened is enough to assume something really bad happened. So there's like I don't know if you would issue a show cause or you would do anything, or if it's just over at that point, or it's like a bad thing no matter what. But meaning this is like just a bad. It starts off with the assumption that it's bad. Tabor furthermore suggests that Mr. Sullivan Roland, the juror, was perhaps related to defense witness Juan Gilberto Sullivan, who testified in lieu of Mr. A.J. Samaritano on August 4th, 1995. From this possible familial relationship, Tabor argues that Mr. Sullivan Roland was prejudiced in favor of defendants, and thereby any comments Mr. Sullivan Roland might have made in the jury's presence could have prejudicially influenced his fellow jurors against plaintiff. INA, Merritt, and Desarrollos, herein referred to collectively as defendants, oppose plaintiff's motion for the following reasons. First, defendants contend that plaintiff failed to bring this allegation of ex parte 732 juror communications to the attention of the court in a timely manner. Therefore, plaintiff waived its right to request a new trial. Next, defendants contend that Tabor's allegations constitute mere speculation that an ex parte communication occurred and do not sufficiently state that there was an actual prejudice of the members of the jury. I wonder if they did the timeline thing that they do in my case, where they were like, if you wanted us to change the footnote on this thing where we assert that you're a pedophile, well, then you should have mentioned what we learned at a future time and date. I was like, well, we didn't know this until you actually dragged this poor girl in for a deposition that you were lying, or how incorrect your statements were. It was like, well, you should have gone back into the past and contended with it then. Also, I don't know if state that there was actual prejudice to the members of the jury. This sounds like not a good, I don't know, I can't pretend to know about this, but like, it sounds like you would have to argue, well, they did have a conversation, but we can show that it wasn't actually bad. Because if it's assumed that it's it's presumptively prejudicial. If that's true, maybe it's not. Then you can't just say, well, listen, they talked, but like you got to show something bad happened. You got to show there was actual prejudice. Like, well, no, hold on, it's assumed to be that. The burden is on you to prove that it wasn't. Okay. All right. Discussion. It is well settled that when a party makes a non-frivolous suggestion that the jury could have been tainted or biased, and therefore reached a verdict based on something other than the admitted evidence and legal argument, the district court shall investigate these allegations. Plaintiff's first allegation of juror bias regarding the conduct of Mrs. Schlump and Mrs. Schlump-Peters is both frivolous and late. Thus, it shall not be investigated further. So late meaning it wasn't filed in a timely manner. I don't know what frivolous means here. Maybe that like it's not actually bad what they're alleging or something. What the Tabor allegation was here. So it shall not be investigated further. Plaintiff's second allegation of juror bias regarding ex parte communications with the jury, however, is not frivolous, and thus shall be investigated further. Plaintiffs first alleged that Mrs. Angela Schlump and Mrs. Joan Schlump-Peters, so this is Joan and her mom, I'm thinking. Why do Hispanic people do the hyphenated last name thing so often? It's kind of crazy, no? Why not? Because it's misandrist. Intimidated or influenced the jury in a prejudicial manner. On June 6, 1995, 3 jurors, Trinidad Roman Rivera, Delisa Valdez, and Sandra Pinol, Jesus. Where the fuck are these names even from? This is like some Portuguese shit or something. I don't know what this is. Okay, whatever. Informed the court that they felt uncomfortable due to Mrs. Schlump's and Mrs. Schlump-Peters' behavior. Based upon the court's interview in chambers of these 3 jurors, the court stated for the record the following. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm entering an order this morning pertaining to the incident that occurred here, which is a continuation of what has been happening. Originally, Mrs. Angela Schlump, some time ago, sat in the court and in front of the jury applauded her husband while he was testifying, continuously staring at the jurors and commenting on the case. We agreed that that wasn't going to happen again, and she was going to stay out, and I did not want to make an issue or any issue of that matter. How it happened that she came back, and I did not know it, but it did happen, this time with her daughter, Mrs. Peters. Aww. Now, yesterday, by my own observation and that of court witnesses, it appears that Mrs. Schlump and Mrs. Peters both stared at the jurors intensely, relentlessly, and at Mrs. Linda Romano. She made comments continuously. She called the witness a liar in a loud voice, referring to witness tipping. 3 jurors have observed this continued staring and comments and feel ill at ease. Their concentration has been interrupted, and I must say that mine also was interrupted because I was worried pertaining to what was going on. This is how she looked. Oh, please be the meme I'm thinking of. Oh no, fuck. Where's the one where the like the student or the temporary teacher, the substitute teacher is like talking about his son died, and then it's like the friend is staring at you in the back of the classroom. As a matter of fact, my notes taken yesterday afternoon are not pretty good. This is a difficult case which requires the attention and concentration of everybody, and certainly we do not want any incident occurring which may cause a mistrial. Therefore, it is the order of the court that the marshal shall not allow the entrance of Mrs. Angela Schlump or Mrs. Peters within the premises of this building of the courthouse and the adjacent facility known as Federal Building while this case is going on. With that in mind, we are ready to go on. Transcript for June 6, 1995, docket 461. The members of the jury were not sequestered at any point during the trial or deliberations. As recognized by the Supreme Court, it is virtually impossible to shield jurors from every contact or influence that might theoretically influence their vote. As soon as the jurors notified the court about the behavior of these 2 individuals, the court took appropriate steps to protect the jury from outside prejudice by barring these 2 individuals from the courtroom. Plaintiff is barred from bringing these allegations of prejudice as a basis for a new trial. This is not newly discovered evidence. If plaintiff feared that Mrs. Schlump and Mrs. Schlump-Peters' behavior has actually constituted ex parte communication with the jury, then plaintiff should have asked the court to interview all jurors at that specific moment in time to determine whether any individuals had actually been prejudiced and whether this would bias their deliberations, or plaintiff should have moved for a mistrial at that moment if it felt that this conduct had detrimentally prejudiced the jury. The time for raising the contention of possible juror bias was at the moment in time when it occurred, not after the completion of a 14-week trial. 5 days of jury deliberations and an adverse verdict. God damn. Oh, well, I'm sorry. It was like 14 days, 2.5 weeks. Okay. 14-week trial. God damn. 5 days of jury deliberations. Damn. I wonder what this case was about. Any party requires information supportive of a claim for mistrial, blah, 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 rather than presenting the matter. Okay. The reason why this shit matters, guys, a lot of this comes out too for the standing stuff, and I'm going to be bringing it up a lot in my manifesto about Pixie, is when you don't follow the laid out procedure for a particular thing, it's going to look like you're not engaging with the thing in good faith. So like, now I'm not saying that the plaintiffs in this case or the defendants were bad faith or whatever else, or maybe they sucked at filing on time or whatever. I don't know. But like, if you're saying I think that the jury is being intimidated right now, then you have to bring that up like at the appropriate time when it's happening or immediately after, whatever. But if you wait and wait and wait, and then you lose your case, and then you're like, actually, I think the jury was being intimidated. It's like, well, you should have brought that up at that point in time, because if you won your case, I bet you wouldn't be saying shit right now about it, right? This is why the, what am I trying to think of for an analog to this? Oh, it's like what are the 7 states that had voter fraud? Oh, well, they were the 7 swing states that Trump lost. Oh, did any of the other ones have voter fraud? Don't know. Don't care. Oh, well, what are you filing for? Well, we want to challenge mail-in ballots and why they shouldn't have been allowed in the state. Oh, why didn't you do that before the vote? Well, we didn't know we were going to lose. Like do you see it? Like, it's not just like you did it too late and now we're going to fuck you with the process. It's like, well, you did it too late, so now we're not sure why you're actually pursuing the process, right? Like, at that point, it doesn't seem like you're acting in good faith. It seems like you're outcome shopping, you know? Relevant meme, the friend staring thing. This isn't what I was thinking of, but... Bro. The most epic lock-in moments.
I gobbled it up. It was so well done. If you play a part in that chemistry. Vanessa Sue is a soon-to-be mom who's going to be stepping into this massive new role, but she also wants to hold on to her career. And
felt so cool to do. I can't even tell you that there was a
chemistry.
It's better without the Vine booms, but fuck. Now you're gonna make me find that Instagram one. God damn it! I hate searching for things I like on Instagram because then I have to go through my reels and see how many fucking things I've liked. Oh, never mind. Somebody found it on TikTok. Good job. Thank you. Jesus.
Guys, my son died. I've been gone for the last 2 weeks grieving.
Hey, did you have friends that did this shit in school? Oh man.
I hope none of you ever go through the loss of a loved one like I have. Toby was a great kid, even with all his disadvantages. His tongue was too long.
Wow, bro! You really his son
Plaintiff's allegations of juror bias further relies on the fact that 2 of the jurors who notified the court about Ms. Schlump's and Ms. Peters' behavior was subsequently excused from jury service. On or about plaintiff did not object to her being excused. On this, they excused jury for personal reasons. Plaintiff did not object to her being excused. More than a month after the first juror was excused, plaintiff insinuates the reason why these 2 behaviors were excused was because they had notified the court about Mrs. Schlump and Mrs. Schlump-Peters' disruptive behavior. In the motion for a new trial, plaintiff describes the excusal of these 2 jurors as fortuitous coincidence beneficial to defendants. Okay, I don't know if I have any more moves in this one, but... The guy who sent me this says, it seems like she just became a lawyer so she could represent her family and friends in dumb lawsuits. What is this one? Complaint against JetBlue Airways Corporation. Filed by Angela Casciano Schlump. Schlump Peters Joan as her lawyer. What is this one about? Hold on. This is a court case lasting 3 years. $137 items on the docket. Hold on, I'm just curious what this is about. View document. Looking at court filings by Pixie's lawyer's mom. No, this is Pixie's lawyer. Comes now. Plaintiff Angela Casciano Schlump, through her undersigned attorneys and before this honorable court, respectfully states and prays. She's an individual residing in Puerto Rico. Defendant JetBlue is a Delaware corporation. Okay. The controversy exceeds the sum or value of $75,000. The relevant facts. At all times relative to the events herein, JetBlue was engaged in the commercial airline business in Puerto Rico, common carrier, prior to blah. Casciano purchased an e-ticket through JetBlue's website for travel. Responsibility for her baggage. Is this a lawsuit over lost baggage? The contract of carriage further provides in clause 18BF, carrier will not accept for carriage jewelry, heirlooms, and similar valuables contained in checked or unchecked baggage. Excess valuation may not be declared on any such items. Passengers are encouraged to carry such valuables personally. Okay. On September 13, 2016, upon arrival at Logan Airport, Casciano obtained the services of a wheelchair attendant to take her to a boarding gate for ease of mobility due to her age, 85 years old. Casciano checked one piece of luggage and kept a small roller bag with her to carry on. Inside the roller bag, Casciano had a pair of shoes, a small briefcase, and a jewelry roll. The jewelry roll contained many valuable and rare antique pieces of jewelry, including but not limited to an antique white sapphire necklace and earrings, a single short strand of Mikimoto pearls, a long double strand of pearls with diamond clasp, 3 pairs of earrings, gold and silver, antique silver gray bead necklace with earrings, antique garnet necklace with earrings, and an onyx ring with centered diamond. In addition to its monetary value, the jewelry had great sentimental value to plaintiff since her recently deceased husband had gifted the majority of it to her during the course of their 59-year marriage. Destiny, that is the mother of Jane's lawyer. Yes, but the lawyer for her, Jane is her lawyer. So I think the plaintiff here is the mom, but her daughter Joan is representing her. Also, many of the pieces were one of a kind and thus not replaceable. She was one of the first passengers on the plane, so the overhead space was empty. Upon boarding the plane with her carry-on baggage, the JetBlue flight attendant abruptly informed Casciano that her baggage would have to be checked. Casciano protested and inquired the reason. The attendant informed her that since she was traveling with the assistance of a wheelchair, the baggage had to be checked because no one would be able to help her with her baggage. At no time did she request any assistance with her baggage. She continued to protest having her baggage checked and stated to the attendant that she did not need any help with the bag while on board the flight. Does that mean the lawyer is an Nepo baby too? It sounds like it because the family has this huge corporation or whatever, and I guess I don't know if she just got a law degree to do fun lawsuits or I don't know if she does any real lawsuits. Upon arrival of her flight in San Juan, Puerto Rico, Casciano proceeded directly to the baggage claim area and claimed her baggage. She did not open the baggage or check its contents while at the airport. Casciano then proceeded to her home in San Juan, whereupon she opened her baggage and discovered that her jewelry roll was missing from the baggage. She immediately contacted JetBlue to inform them of this loss of her jewelry. They denied the claim on the basis that its contract of carriage provides. Oh, I thought they lost her bag. So she's just saying she got home and it was all gone. As a result of JetBlue's breach of the contract of carriage, Casciano has been damaged in an amount no less than $100,000. Holy shit. Plaintiff requests trial by jury on all counts. What was the verdict in this case? Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm just curious how the judge ruled. Isn't JetBlue a budget airline? I don't believe so. Unless they recently reformed to be like a high quality. I feel like JetBlue was like a kind of a bougie airline, no? Am I making that up? Somebody said it is, and then someone else said no, they're pretty luxury. My impression is JetBlue is kind of a bougie airline. Or maybe I don't know if I should say bougie, but I don't know what the super bougie ones would be, but it's mid? What do you guys consider bougie? In my mind, you have like, here's your ultra budget, but they're not really because they'll nickel and dime you until it's more expensive anyway. You've got Frontier and you've got Spirit. And then your mid tiers are your like American Airlines, Alaska Airlines, Alcoholics Anonymous. Just kidding. You're like United, Delta, whatever. And then up here you have, I'm trying to think of what other bougie airlines are. I feel like JetBlue is like a bougie airline. Like, you know, you're paying a little bit more. Oh, Southwest would be here. Virgin Airlines? Oh, maybe I've never flown Virgin before. Emiratis? I'm just thinking domestic. How does the USA have so many fucking airlines? Because it's impossible to keep them profitable for any period of time. I think the only thing that makes JetBlue is cleaner and has great snacks. Well, their food was good. I think they had free Wi-Fi. I think their seats tend to be a bit more expensive, but like their online portal and everything is nice. Their gateways or whatever are very nice. But maybe they were just all renovated recently in Miami or something. I don't know. That was my impression. I don't know. I guess I could be wrong, but just go on Google Flights right now and check prices. It's not just about price though. It's about the experience, bro. You only have to fly around if you don't like where you're at. Unironically, huge anti-flex, you fly often. I mean, it really depends. The big issue that I have is I'm kind of stuck in Miami, and your mom hates warm weather. So if I want to be fucking her every Friday, I got to fly 4 times a month, my friend. What do you want me to say? What was the verdict? Oh, yeah. I gotta check. Weren't you dying on the hill that there's no point in anything other than the cheapest seat since you sleep through the flight anyway? What changed? Well, the only thing that matters for me is if I want to work, I need a little bit of a larger place because now I use my laptop. I got laptop pilled again, and the laptop takes up a lot more space than the iPad. Or if I want to sleep overnight and wake up and stream the next day. Just the West Coast to East Coast flights are brutal. Also, I could be wrong, but I feel like the economy class, I did an economy class, I was economy class flying around between LA and Vancouver and all that shit when I was on the West Coast a week ago. I feel like the economy seats have gotten, there's less space between the rows, such that I started to feel a little bit cramped. And I'm 5'8", so I don't know, man. Okay. Pursuant to the joint notice of voluntary dismissal, the complaint is dismissed with prejudice as to JetBlue Airways, including all claims stated herein against all parties. Why'd they voluntarily dismiss it? Does that mean that they settled? Oh, fuck. Hold on. I'm trying to think. 1 second. Did you tell the LA guy not to pay all the entire thing this time? Assuming they didn't pay to fly out, we get the whole thing. Wait, which thing? When I go to debate Constantine or whatever? I don't know. He's planning on doing it. Can you look up the Rule 11 filing? I'm curious to see what happened. What's the docket entry? Oh, Rule 11. Oh, wait, that's the one that we filed. We filed a Rule 11 thing. Did they file a Rule 11 thing against her? Hold on. Comes now, plaintiff and defendant. As ordered by this honorable court, the parties engaged in meaningful settlement conversations and reached an amicable resolution. The resolution of these conversations is that on February 20th, the parties signed a full release settlement and confidentiality agreement that resolves all pending controversies in this case. They had filed a joint voluntary and so that means we don't have information publicly about the settlement, I guess. Damn, I wonder how much she milked him for. If you look it up, JetBlue is consistently the top 10 of cheapest airlines. I don't know why he thinks JetBlue is bougie. JetBlue. Well, hold on. Top 10 of cheapest airlines? How many airlines are there in the United States, bruh? Oh my God. American has free Wi-Fi now. Thank God. Thank you, Lord Jesus. JetBlue was nice in the early 2000s when they went mainstream. Now they are shit. Are they? I feel like their website was like the nicest one I'd ever used. But then I used American more often. Oh, because JetBlue just didn't fly to as many places. Do you fly business class now? Not usually, no. That's pretty rare. It's just a lot of money. What?
What's on the docket today?
We're watching that HDR video today. Faux show.
Yes. I'm ready to learn also. I have no idea how you're going to stream it. You're going to have to shrink the color range. Wait, do you have a sick HDR monitor in front of you?
I have 4 sick HDR monitors, but I don't know if the video is going to go in that direction.
What do you mean?
There's a guy talking about color ranges and stuff. We'll see.
What's your main monitor? The one with the sickest of the HDRs?
I don't know. I have 4 identical monitors, and they're all supposed to be pretty sick. They fucking better be.
I hope you got the... Are they OLED?
If that's the sick technology, then yeah. Fuck, what is it? It's these guys. My LinkedIn chat.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. That's the good one. I think that's the exact one I bought.
Whoa!
Whoa, we're going to learn... Let me just make sure. Hold on. Wait. No, I have this exact same monitor, but 27 inches instead of 32. because I'm not a loser.
Based. Wait, give me like 3 or 4 minutes. Hold on. I just want to read some of this.
Okay.
So this was part of their case. This is what JetBlue filed against. So it would have been Joan and her mom. I guess Joan is the lawyer and the mom is the plaintiff. This was their Rule 11 sanctions motions. The instant filing is not made lightly. Rather, JetBlue files the present motion after having received, very recently for the first time, extremely troubling information in the course of discovery, which demonstrates that a material misrepresentation was made in the amended complaint of the facts underpinning plaintiff's claims. As shown herein below, plaintiff omitted critical facts from her narrative that render her claims against JetBlue unfounded and frivolous. JetBlue certifies that a copy of this motion was served on plaintiff not less than 21 days prior to its filing in compliance with Rule 11 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. You have to give them a 3-week notice to amend a thing, and then if they fail to, then you can file your sanctions. This is what we did against them. This is the same process we went through with them. Nice. Argument on September 13, 2017, plaintiff filed an amended complaint. Therein, she alleged that certain articles of jewelry had gone missing after her carry-on bag was gate-checked by JetBlue on a flight from Boston, Massachusetts to San Juan, Puerto Rico. From a review of plaintiff's amended complaint, it is evident that she represents that no one other than JetBlue could have intervened with or had access to her luggage. Based on the facts alleged in the amended complaint, on November 13, 2017, JetBlue filed a motion to dismiss in which it asserted, among other things, that plaintiff's claims were preempted by the Airline Deregulation Act and that plaintiff was barred from recovery per the terms of JetBlue's contract of carriage, to which she admits she is a party as a result of JetBlue's motion. Plaintiff voluntarily withdrew her claims for negligent misrepresentation, breach of contract of bailment, and negligence under Article 1802 of the Puerto Rico Civil Code, blah, blah, blah. The court denied JetBlue's motion as to the remaining cause of action for the breach of contract of carriage. Plaintiff reiterated the factual version outlined above in her part of the joint initial scheduling memorandum. Things being as such, the parties moved forward with the discovery in this case, and on April 16, 2018, JetBlue received plaintiff's response to first request for production of documents, together with a production of documents. Exhibit 1 of plaintiff's production of documents is a communication dated September 15, 2016, prior to this court case, from plaintiff to her insurance agent, Paco Arrivi, regarding the loss of jewelry alleged in the complaint. Much to JetBlue's surprise, in this document, plaintiff asserts that, quote, in going through security in Logan Airport, the TSA selected my one carry-on bag and handbag for a random check. Agents ripped all carry-on luggage apart. Bags were on a high table, and the 4 agents with their backs to me. I seated in wheelchair. The bag on wheels had several pairs of shoes, medicine, makeup, and my briefcase with my jewelry bag inside. At the entrance to the plane, the attendant took my carry-on bag without my consent to be checked. Upon unpacking my luggage at home, there was no jewelry. I immediately filed a written complaint with TSA and with JetBlue. We respectfully submit that this contemporaneous account of the events underlying the claims at issue here differs significantly from the factual version set forth in the later file amended complaint, insofar as the amended complaint makes no mention of the fact that plaintiff's bags were opened and thoroughly searched by the TSA in a manner which did not allow her to observe their actions. Certainly, her communication with her insurer at the time of the incident seems to support the possibility that jewelry went missing before the carry-on bag was ever remitted to JetBlue's custody. This attempt to, damn. So she even fucked up her discovery delivery, the same thing she did in my case as well. What a fucking crazy. How can these people be allowed to practice for so long? I don't understand. What the fuck? The attempt to cherry pick the facts asserted in the amended complaint in order to create the false appearance of certainty as to the alleged actor and mislead the court as to the viability of plaintiff's claims runs afoul of Rule 11. In her response to JetBlue's Rule 11 communication, plaintiff's counsel misguidedly responded that, as masters of their complaint, plaintiffs have the right to select the defendants they wish to sue. Accordingly, counsel claims that the facts pertaining to the TSA are not relevant. However, she misses the point. The issue here is not whether plaintiff decided to sue the TSA or not. It is quite clear that JetBlue is not arguing failure to join indispensable parties, as was the case in Jimenez Ruiz. The issue here is that regardless of whether she chose to sue the TSA or not, the facts pertaining to the TSA's involvement are relevant because this is where the chain of events began. Can you use this history against Joan? Oh, no. There's just funny memes. Well, I wonder why the court dismissed this. Because I don't think they granted motion, extension of time, response in opposition to Rule 11 sanctions. Let's see. Order denying motion for sanctions and finding as moot the motion to stay. Why did the judge deny this? I don't know. Let's find out. Continue. I need to log in a paste on this screen. Sorry, fuck. Someday I will. Let's see. The motion at docket number 37 seeks sanctions against plaintiff pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 11 for presenting an allegedly inaccurate and misleading amended complaint. The motion at docket number 39 moves for a stay of discovery until the Rule 11 motion is adjudicated. After hearing JetBlue's arguments, we find that there are no grounds for imposition of Rule 11 sanctions. This requires an attorney to make reasonable inquiry to assure that all pleadings, motions, and papers filed with the court are factually well-grounded, legally tenable, and not interposed for any improper purpose. The contractual claim included in the amended complaint is legally tenable, and the failure to mention the TSA search is not indicative of bad faith. Therefore, the record does not support the conclusion that plaintiff cited her duty of reasonable inquiry in making its contractual claims against JetBlue. Cringe. That was like a 2-page order. Nice.
How much have you spent, not on attorneys, but on court fees? Like, there's cost to file shit, right?
Yeah, but it's all not. It's like pales in comparison to the. Like, if I had to guess, maybe like $1,000 total from the start. Maybe.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Impressive.
Okay, what's up? How's life?
Fine.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Okay. Boom, boom. What'd you guys do today?
You know, it all blurs together. I have no fucking idea. Something.
Oh, really? Blurs together? Were you drinking again, Dan?
No, I mean some cop slop. I think a little bit. What else?
Damn. How? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. What's happening?
I don't know. This guy just found like 7 court cases where this Joan person just runs around helping her family like sue other people. That's all she does. Apparently there's a case where she's helping her mom sue her neighbor. At this time, plaintiffs assert the defendant, like a gypsy, has no true domicile because he is a citizen of the wind without real roots anywhere. Plaintiff rests his legal arguments on 2. There's just a lot of like wacky, Jesus Christ. Okay. I take back everything good I said about Puerto Rico. Cop slop and... Oh, that's it? Nothing exciting?
I don't know. We probably did something else.
Oh, is your car all fixed, Dan?
No, I just did new fuel lines. All new fuel lines, and I'm almost done though. I'm almost done, and then I want to take a class learning how to do drifting. I think that would be really fun. I saw like XQC doing it, and I was like, I want to try that.
Do you have to use your car or?
Well, I'd want to do it in my car. I have a rear-wheel drive car.
Yeah, feels like it'd be fun to learn in like a junker first.
Well, my car is kind of like a junker.
Wait, the one that you've been working on all this time?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's old, right?
Well, when I
It's
say
not
junker,
like-
I mean like a thing you wouldn't mind maybe fucking up. I feel like it would be sad if you put all that work into it and you wrecked it, no?
How am I going to wreck it? What am I going to smash it? Oh, I guess if I flipped it. I hope I don't do that.
Well, I guess it depends on how wide open. If it's literally just like a giant parking lot tier thing, I guess. Not necessarily a parking lot, but yeah.
Can you drift an all-wheel drive car? I actually don't know.
Not really, but a lot of them will have things to let you do it. Like I think you have to turn off. You have to be able to turn off the, I don't know what they call it, the electronic steering protection or whatever, the whatever controls the wheels individually. And then most cars, I think, that are like memer cars, so like my car, like a Mustang, will have an option. It'll call it like track mode or super sport mode or some shit, and it'll put a higher percentage of the power to the rear axle. And for those you
do that on yours?
Yeah, I mean I don't because I don't want to kill myself, but
so you can make your car be rear-wheel drive only.
I think if you put it in track mode or drift mode in the Focus RS, I think it might be 100%.
Oh, it has that drift mode. Yeah, it definitely is then, right?
I think it's like 100% or 90% power goes to the rear axle, I think. Did you just get a Mustang? No, I just have an RS. His Z isn't something he should do that in. The weight distribution isn't ideal. The suspension would get destroyed, and I don't even think it has an LSD for it.
I do have a limited slip. I put in a viscous limited slip off of an 88 Shiro.
Yeah, dumbass.
And,
what, you think he's operating off of a static slip differential? An open slip differential? Idiot?
Yeah, I got a viscous limited slip, and then I also have... I redid all the suspension with coilovers.
Nice.
But I don't... I think that it's a McPherson type of setup. I don't know if that's good or not. Probably kill myself trying, I'm guessing. But it's the thought that counts. Dan, how much horsepower are you going to have? I don't know. We're hoping to, I say we is the guy who's been helping me do welding stuff that I can't do. I'm hoping to take it to the tuner, the dyno.
Oh, so you got another friend to help you in real life. You didn't even ask me if I could weld. Do you know if I could weld?
Do you have a welding setup and a fucking lift?
Guess you don't know, huh? Because you didn't even bother fucking asking, Dan.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't worry, me and Mr. Moon are gonna weld and make our own cooler. We got a Supra that we're putting in a new unlimited slip differential in, so fuck you.
Unlimited slip?
Unlimited slip, yeah.
Weld it. Going around corners is a lot of fun on those. I don't know. I'm hoping to have 450 to 500 at the wheels. We'll see if I get there or not. I don't know what the limiting factor is going to be. I think the clutch is actually the limiting factor.
It's going to be the driver, Dan.
Well, that's probably true. I mean, that's definitely true. That will be the limiting factor.
Did you guys watch this shit? The video? Not the video that Trump posted, by the way. Wait, what video did Trump post? Oh, wait, this is just a Dinesh D'Souza tweet. Wait, what's the Trump video? Link me.
It's that, but it has the Obama and I don't fucking have it, but it has the Obama and Michelle monkey part at the end.
Trump only posted the Obama part. No way. Hold on. Well, I guess we can just go check it out. Truth Social, Donald Trump. I should just make a Truth Social account.
Wrong. He deleted it. It's gone. Can't see it anymore. There.
Ooh, he deleted it. Uh-oh. That's not good. Hold on. I want to go see what the president of the United States of my country is advertising on the social media platform that he owns. I'm just kind of curious. Let's see.
I'm carrying a new SIG today.
A new SIG?
I'm carrying 4 different pieces. Wait, are you wearing 4 holsters?
Yep. You can't even tell.
Is that a little tasteless? What, because they just killed Preddy with a SIG? Or no, they took a SIG from him, I guess.
Oh, right. And it feels like nothing's there. Here, try one.
This is the Toro leather holster by MC.
Oh, this is just a holster.
G Tactical.
Whoa.
Strap it.
Whoa.
Clip in.
Get killed by ice. Ugh.
Come on. Hurry up. Pull it out.
AI? Yes. Speak to me, my robot queen.
Come on. Hurry up. Pull it out.
I'm trying my hardest, but it won't come out. I knew I should have gotten the Toro holster.
This is the Toro leather holster.
Keystroke lock.
Right now, hackers can attack the keypad on every one of your family's.
Lara Logan, investigative journalist, as seen on Fox News.
Devices, computers, cell phones, iPads. It's called keystroke logging. And how does it work?
What?
Question for you.
Type on your key.
What?
Would it be morally wrong to start omega grifting for Trump with the idea that you could get
Scamming
get a position in his administration as something very serious and fix it from within, like the ultra deep state shit? Like you could be running the CIA in 2 years if you grift hard enough and you're smart enough. Like all the grifters he has, I'm gonna be honest, they all suck. They fucking suck. I know I could do better than all of them.
Yeah,
I know.
I think it goes back to this thing that I said before. I've started to catch myself where I'm like, why would a person do this? And it's like, this sounds kind of mean, but like, I think there's probably different intelligences and different types of minds that go along with different kinds of character. So like, if you're the type of person to be that much of a piece of shit, you're probably not going to be very intelligent anyway. So it's not a coincidence that all of like these horrible, evil people are also like kind of stupid, you know, or at least not very crafty.
Idea is that like if you did a full, like here's the problem, like let's say I did it, full grift to Trump, you would have to disown me. Everyone would have to kind of disown me for the most part. And then there'd be always these questions like, did he really leave the left? Is he being a secret, Jewish agent type shit? But if you could, like, I know I could do it hard enough. I feel like I could get a position eventually in the administration. But the thing is there's only 3 years left. I feel like I'm too late also. That's the problem.
Yeah, the problem actually is that the big problem is that administration doesn't actually select for competency. It selects for
how good you are at grifting. I can be the best though.
Yeah, but like their goodness. Oh, I mean, like you could get in, I guess. But when you say I'm so smart, like it's not necessary. Like being smart isn't going to help you. It's how much dick can you suck, how quickly, and how publicly.
Yeah, but I can suck so much, and I can do I look at how these guys defend Trump, and it's honestly pathetic. They don't even do a good job at it. There isn't there's not, I mean, obviously it's like kind of an impossible position to be in, but like there's no like destiny of the right because it's kind of hard to defend something that's undefendable across the board. But you can try.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's their. I mean,
a little bit.
It doesn't have to be that good, right? That's part of the point. I think the messaging is simple as fuck, and enough people can get on board with it, and you just kind of.
Yeah, but what would happen if you were like a destiny on the right? Think about the power you would have. All of the grift abilities, all the dick sucking power, and the ability to like blow away all the other people who suck shit at debating. You might even be able to like beat some of the fucking actual leftist debaters about this type of shit, and they would be like, hey, what about this? And you'd be like, I'm sorry, do you want to avoid talking about this subject where we tried this? What about Cuba? I mean, I don't know. That's not like a good debate, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, the combination would be unstoppable.
Maybe, yeah.
And then you get into the CIA and you fix it from the inside. No, you become the Pete Hegseth in charge of the army. And you do martial law, take control over everything. That's the way.
That's the way. Okay, I need to help prevent keyloggers. Hold on.
Keyboard. Everything on your screen appears on the hacker's screen at the same time. Financial accounts, medical records, your children's identity, their locations, movements.
Did you see Peace go defend Hassan using the term settler babies? No shot, like me.
All of it in the hands of ruthless criminals. Not just exposed, but recorded, stored, and sold on the dark web. That's why I trust Keystroke Lock to protect my data and those I love. Developed by aerospace engineers.
Aerospace engineers that can protect you from alien attacks.
Using military-grade technology, Keystroke Lock creates an impenetrable cyber shield over your entire keypad, securing your device. The bad guys are locked out.
Oh, you can't get in.
And private data are safe. My partners at Keystroke Lock are pleased to offer you the protection you deserve by giving you your first month of service absolutely free.
What?
And after that, enjoy the security of Keystroke Lock on every device for your whole family for less than 50 cents a day. Keystroke Lock is including a $1 million identity theft protection policy, along with $50,000 in cyber extortion coverage at no extra cost. This is a critical opportunity to provide you and your family with the cybersecurity and the safety.
Oh, they're America!
Visit keystrokelock.com.
Yes.
That's keystrokelock.com.
I just approved $60.6 million for the great state of Tennessee, which I won 3 times, by the way. 3 times, by the way. 3 times, by the way. for the severe winter storm they are recovering from. Incredible people that I know will rebuild fast. President Donald J. Trump. More keystroke lock ads. Intruder.
Right now.
Same one. Lower medication prices? We're already
Bro,
there.
I need to start.
Save 30%.
Hold on.
What?
Redact chatter or workers, I know you guys are listening. We need to start advertising on Truth Social. I think they're dumb enough that like you could just be like, is there mesothelioma inside of your pillow?
Maybe.
Redact.dev.
With code TS. What is that? Trump saving? Oh, My Pillow. Mike Lindell. What is a mattress topper?
It goes on top of your mattress. It feels nice.
Isn't that a blanket?
No, this goes underneath the sheets.
Why not just... Okay. Wow. The Dow Jones Industrial Average just hit 50,000 for the first time in history. Congratulations, America. Wait, what is causing the recent, would you say, commodities sell-off?
I have no idea, but I'm thinking I'm going to get myself a platinum chain. You can call me One Chain, because I'll have one chain around my neck.
Based. Keystroke lock. I recommend keystroke lock to protect your private data. Dr. Diane Janosek, NSA Deputy Director, reported to the Pentagon. Okay. She's not like the current, or a current Deputy Director, right? What? No Wikipedia? Uh-oh. What do you think's on her Twitter page? We got a good American flag.
You know, it's kind of interesting. Browsing Truth Social, it's kind of like browsing the internet in like 2004. Like all these pop-up ads that you would get, like, grow your penis 6 inches. Balding? Not anymore with Miracle Cure. The earth is flat. Freemasons have discovered the solution. And it's like...
True.
I don't know, it's fun. A little bit. Like, you don't get these ads elsewhere. You can only see them here.
There was a time when I stayed up all night and slept all day because there wasn't anything worth waking up for. No plans, no goals, no purpose. Then I got my Neuralink implant and everything shifted. I started going to bed early. I woke up excited for the day ahead. And just like that, I had found purpose again. Since then, I'm back in school. I've launched a business. I'm traveling. I'm speaking on global stages. What does he do with his Neuralink? Yo, that shit is actually pretty cool now. Have you seen any of that?
I haven't seen that it can do anything. Was it supposed
They
to
can
be able to do?
they can actually, so there's a small part, there's not much bandwidth yet, but they can actually interface directly with your brain so that you can think and do like physical things with it. Like it can send signal, you can send signals to it. It isn't just like moving your finger or some retarded shit.
I think it's good for people who have locked-in syndrome. Like,
Well,
if
I mean, it could be good for anything, no? Like imagine if I was playing a video game or driving a car, but I could also like move a mirror or something using my head or something. Like if I stuck a Bluetooth thing up there or some bullshit, right?
I feel like if it gets too advanced, it's gonna be a big problem.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like kids would be like, "Don't look, don't look, don't look." God damn it! Like I don't know.
Don't look. What isn't? You can't see out of your. Well, I guess you kind of see out of your brain, but it's not like you put eyeballs.
Like
up
imagine your Neuralink controlling your arm, and like your arm has to decide, like, am I supposed to be grabbing this or not grabbing this? You know?
No. It's like, fuck. I don't remember the bandwidth. It's very low, but like you could imagine that you could think of like on or off across like 8 channels or whatever, and you could like flip switches like that. Yeah. It's not like Neuralink is controlling your brain to move your body around.
No. I understand that. I'm saying like you would use this to do other stuff. Like maybe you could use it to like, I mean, at least my assumption was this was for disabled people, at least to start. But the idea would be like you could use it to control the mouse on your keyboard. But like then it's like one of the streamers like with the eye tracking. Like imagine you're using it and you're like, I'm thinking this, but I don't actually want you to click it or something. I don't know. Never mind. Forget it. Forget I say anything.
No, we got it.
Stupid.
We're good.
That was Dan sitting next to Amaranth. Yeah, a little bit. I did a pretty good job though. Eyes up at all times.
Okay, well, I feel like her Twitter account is just a wholesome science account, okay? We don't have to shit on her. Falcon 9 completes its 500th landing off after lifting off from Pad 40 in Florida. Where are these at? Why don't we ever watch these, Dan?
Because no one gives a fuck.
What?
Maybe you would care about this like 100 years ago. Well, in the 60s. But now they're doing these things like every day. Who gives a fuck? Honestly.
Wow.
You know, the same people that like trains. I'm just going to say it. People get really excited about trains, get really excited about rocket launches. I don't like them.
More than 20 times per... Oh, never mind, sorry. Starship will launch our V3 Starlink satellites, which will add 60 terabits per second of capacity to the network per launch. You know that Asmongold watches every launch now after 2024? No way. Please settle a chat disagreement. Did you own a mattress that you slept on in the Nebraska home? Initially, no, but when Teresa moved in, she said she wasn't going to live with me if I didn't have a mattress or bed, so I was like, fuck you, bitch. And I got one. Why would I waste space when I get to sleep on the floor? Why the fuck would I waste space? And you got to do laundry for everything? Fuck all that shit.
I bought the 8 sleep shit. I'm going to see.
I'll sleep?
Report back. Yeah, it's like this pad that goes on top of your bed that like has liquid going through it for like heat and cooling, and it's supposed to be like supposed to be an amazing thing. So I'll let you know if it's a fucking skamaz or not once it gets here.
Ty Cobb, one of the worst lawyers in Washington, D.C., a real loser, was fired years ago because he was having lunch with another lawyer talking about one of my many cases while sitting next to 2 reporters from the failing New York Times. He talked loud and stupidly, and they wrote a story on what he said about the case. Guys like him and another major loser, Miles Taylor, who I have no idea who he is, make livings talking about me like they know me well. I fired Ty Cobb because he was a whack job who I hardly knew, and he knew nothing about me. Likewise, Miles Taylor is, in many ways, even worse because I have no idea who he is, except that CNN and MSDNC put him on for years like he's a Trump expert. So when you watch these 2 guys on television, which fortunately doesn't happen often because there's very little audience at either CNN or MSDNC, remember, they know nothing about me. Just 2 dopes trying to make a buck by pretending to know something about someone who turned out to be very famous. These 2 networks are forewarned not to put them on the air again because they have no knowledge or credibility with respect to anything they have to do with Donald Trump. Nice. The president warning networks not to put people on air. Just another day on Truth Social. Were you listening to any of the transcript I read yesterday from the hearing from the immigration attorneys?
Yep. I heard the whole thing.
That shit is fucked. It's really like, that's like demonic shit. Like, can you imagine you're like unfairly jailed and then you're so happy that your lawyer wins the case and it's like, okay, good, we got an order, they got to release you. And they're like, sorry, I can't hear you. I'm being flown to El Paso right now. Hopefully I'm out in 2 weeks. That's crazy.
The thing that I didn't understand is that they were all like, you know, I almost wish you would hold me in contempt. And it's like, well, no, I think that we should hold not you in contempt. Let's hold the person above you in contempt. Right?
Yeah,
If
that's
you're
why the
saying
judge
that
was kind of asking, like, tell me where the buck stops or what's going on here. Because it's this bridge between that gives you basically an infinite liability shield. Because she's not going to shit on the judges, or she's not going to shit on the attorneys that hard. Like, who do I need to bring in and question to figure out what's going on, you know? Yeah, which I agree. What is this? Sky loses debate to 12-year-old. Mike Lindell, the MyPillow guy, whose pillows and mattress covers we just saw.
That's in your state. You want to know more in your state?
So
They just found 250.
Wait. Does he kind of sound like the burnt peanut guy? Am I crazy?
What is wrong?
He does. He sounds like the burnt peanut.
That's in your state. You want to know more in your state?
So
They just found 257,000 votes. This happened last week. A judge ruled in Georgia that are missing from the 2020 election. This just came out. You're behind. You should.
So your source is trust me, bro? That's your source?
No, the source. It's in your papers in Georgia. You need to read your news.
You haven't given me any last name.
You need to read your news. No, this is your Georgia news.
Yeah.
This is your Georgia. This is your Georgia.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good day, sir. All right. Let's keep walking.
What's up, Corbin?
My pillow guy.
Yeah.
Nice. What's up, Danimal? What's up, Steven? How you guys doing?
Doing okay.
Good. I was just popping in because I had a random shower thought. That's right. I think about you in the shower.
Good.
Okay. Don't judge. Don't hate. Have you thought about like the weird amount of like influence that you have on like the current political zeitgeist, or at least in like the influencer world? It's kind of.
I mean, in the influencer world, I mean, it's all kind of collaborative. Like I joke about like, oh, this idea came from me. But I mean, if you're a reasonably intelligent person, you're looking at the political discourse. Like, I'm sure there are a lot of people that are concurrently thinking about a lot of this stuff a lot of the time. So, and I'm sure I push a little bit on my end, and maybe it helps a little bit others to push. Yeah.
Well, when I say like content creator world, I mean like sort of like the influencer space. Like, because I look back, I'm like, okay, well, who are some of the biggest people that like you've inspired? Obviously,
for
earlier,
like,
the largest.
Oh yeah, for a long time I was like, you're a streamer kind of, yeah.
Yeah, Vosh, those are like the two kind of obvious big ones. But then like guys like Luke Beasley had a lot of like, you talked to him like years ago before he was ever really big. He was kind of involved in some of your community stuff, I think. Adam Mockler obviously has like directly cited you.
Yeah.
Obviously Dean and Parker. It's just like there's like so many kind of like pretty big like younger influencer figures that are like just directly inspired by you. I was kind of taken aback like thinking about it for a second because I'm like, oh Jesus, oh fuck, Steven has a lot more influence.
Well, yeah. What do you mean? I've been streaming for 16 years. Of course. The fuck.
Yeah.
Duh.
I mean, it's just like, does it ever like hit you like that? Like, oh damn, fuck, I have a lot of influence.
It's an awesome responsibility, but I manage it every day. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like there are some things you just kind of get used to, like having to lift your penis up when you sit on the toilet to take a shit because it's 15 inches long. Like there's things you don't think about anymore, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I'm very used to that. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, that was just my shower thought.
Okay.
Yeah. You ready for USC next week?
Oh yeah, hopefully. Yeah, as long as it doesn't get pushed back again. Yeah.
Yeah. Snow's been kind of fucked. But you know, we're doing good.
We're still doing it the same day as the other dudes, right?
Yeah. It's next Friday, I think.
Yeah, should be fun.
Yep. Oh yeah. I'll see you then.
I love you. Be careful.
All right. Love you.
Bye.
Bye. Leave.
Got him. Destiny, do you recognize the first author's name? Gregory A. Fields. Multiple aging mechanisms of ferroelectric deuterated potassium dihydrogen phosphate. I have no idea. This entire article, though, feels like a halluce. Anybody else? All those politicians who complained. Sorry, yeah, Greg Fields was Idra. I don't know if that's his name, Greg Fields. My halluce joke was a reference to his epic rage quit against Huck, okay? True fans know. All those politicians complain about stock buybacks. I guess companies listened and changed their behavior. Percentage of operating cash flow spent on CapEx versus buybacks. No. What's the point of this? Buybacks are down, CapEx is up. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I wanted to restart, actually.
Wanted to restart what?
My computer.
Oh. Wait, am I able to bring that big dumb battery that you had me buy? Am I able to bring that on airplanes, do you think, on carry-on or no?
And carry-on? Absolutely not.
I just realized why. I had to come to Jesus,
or
I had a big realization.
Make a 1 kilowatt one though. Go ahead. What?
Well, actually, it was a few months ago. Do you know why laptops are always like slower and seem kind of like they just don't work as well when you're unplugged versus when you're plugged in?
Yeah, because they don't give it the same amount of power.
Yeah.
On battery. Yeah, well, it's not undervolt. It's just literally giving it less watts.
Sure. And I don't think USB-C is only 100 right now, at least for that laptop. I don't know if there's something to do more. I think that wall charger for that laptop I think it's like fucking 360. But that would be sick if I could plug that in to if I could bring that big battery with me. Then I could play my laptop on the plane at full power.
The most you can bring on the plane, I think, is 99 watt hours per device. Or I don't even know.
Well, maybe you could build like a thing using our knowledge of electronic circuits. Like if we could parallel or bridge together enough stuff, you could build enough wattage or something. I don't know. Are you playing video games? Why do you even need that? Yeah, I was raiding on my last flight, okay?
Dan is wrong. It's way lower. How fucking low is it? Hold on. Airplane battery. It's 100 watt hours. It's literally what it says. And then spare batteries can go up to 160 watt hours. Maximum 2 spares allowed. But let's look at American Airlines.
Why can't you just use a normal charger on the plane? They have outlets on most flights. The outlets will cap anywhere from 40 to 100 watts. You're never plugging anything in. At least I haven't found one that'll let you plug something in over 100 watts.
Okay, so you can have 2 separate 160 watt hour batteries plus the 100 watt hour battery inside of your laptop.
Well, then you just need to bring a friend on, and then you both have that, and then you build a bigger, better battery.
Yeah. Hey, real Will Smith?
Uh-oh.
Chill it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
Whoa!
Cool it, in fact.
What's the emoji that like most clearly maps onto the Sweatstiny guy? Because I use that a lot on Discord and chat, but I don't know how to use this in like other things where I don't have.
Oh,
emotes.
You mean like on
like a whew, that's kind of spooky, but not like oh, I'm scared. Like on texting or whatever.
It's a sweat. Yeah, it's a sweat one. Sweating drop.
That one, I just don't like the way that guy looks.
Yeah, because it's like the grinning.
Like if I could have the
grinning face with sweat.
Yeah, if I could have the grimace face with sweat, that would be perfect.
No, because the other one makes you sick. It's like you're sick. You have to do the happy one. The sad one is not good.
Yeah, the sad one, that just looks sad. That doesn't even look scary or nervous. Or wait, so which one do you think?
The happy one. This one right. It's called grinning face with sweat emoji. Here, right here.
Grinning face with.
I just linked it in chat.
Oh, but I feel like when I think of this, maybe I just watch too much anime. I think of like a guy who's like awkwardly laughing in like a shonen anime, like ah or whatever, and then everybody's like.
It is a little bit. It's like deploying on a Friday, and instead of doing Sweatstiny, you might do this, and it just adds. It does add a little bit of context difference because now it's
it's like a not. Yeah.
Yeah, like okay, but it's not too far off. That's the closest you got though.
Okay. Bro swallowed his laugh.
började prata om formellt språk. När man pratar formellt språk använder man en tydlig och korrekt grammatik. Antingen få eller inga talspråkliga uttryck. Neutrala och oförståeliga formuleringar. Alltså man inte... Användning av hela meningar. Inte så mycket förkortningar.
Oh no. Fuck. What was the, where's the, was it Obama giving an award and they were like, these guys were getting pounded?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Up at their tiny post, Ryan and his team were being pounded. Almost instantly, every one of them was wounded.
Oh no.
I played again. I didn't get to hear it.
God damn it.
Up at their tiny post, Ryan and his team were being pounded. Almost instantly, every one of them was wounded.
That's some real military training right there, okay? Oh, fuck. Hold on. I still need to find the... Somebody has it. 1 second.
You download the Anchor Solix app.
Haven't yet. I don't mind the Anchor apps. I've got them for my portable battery or whatever.
Initiated by a court order, the Michigan investigation team obtained forensic access to a DS200 tabulator, the machine that counts the votes. A Telit 4G wireless chip manufactured in Taiwan was discovered embedded into the motherboard. The voting machine tapes clearly indicate modem engagement and transmission of election data.
Does it though?
Some of the anomalies that we noticed in the 2020 general elections, that 5 key states all stopped counting at a certain time in these key battleground states. These were all where the software, Dominion machines, ESNS machines were used, the Smartmatic, the GEMS software. So when the vote stopped counting, and this has been noted in other countries as well, President Trump was significantly ahead. When reporting and counting resumed, there was a massive spike occurred that favored Joe Biden.
Why? Hands up, no ChatGPT. What did that text readout mean as it relates to election fraud? I don't fucking remember. It just looks like some fucking IP address. What is it? Hold on.
It's also retarded. They say it was made in Taiwan.
Into the motherboard.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. We have
100 tabulator, the machine that counts the votes. A Telit 4G wireless chip manufactured in Taiwan was discovered embedded into the motherboard.
Was discovered embedded into the motherboard. Okay. User selected. Begin modem process.
Voting machine.
4G network available. Okay.
Machine tapes clearly indicate modem engagement and transmission of election data.
Listen, okay? I don't know. This looks to me like it just looks to me like a post, like a power on self-test or whatever. Like the thing is turning on or something, and it's just like the kernel sees this. I don't even know what you'd say, the firmware, whatever. It sees the network, it sees the modem device. You're starting services. SFTP service started. This is some kind of file transfer protocol, right, or something? It's just like a service that's running.
Secure file transfer protocol.
Yeah. SFTP transfer completed. Complete for file, whatever. This shows some transfer being completed for IP address 10.48.511. Is that local? Is that a local range? Do you know?
Sounds like it. Wait, 10.1 is 10.4? I don't fucking know. I forget this class.
Sure. Well, okay. So you guys are saying that it doesn't. I mean, the small brain is like it doesn't show shit. The medium brain is like it could be really bad, but I think the big brain doesn't show shit. The small brain is to say it's just a local IP address, so it doesn't mean anything. But then a midbrain is like, well, it could be transferring to another thing on a local network, and then on that local network, once that other device receives the information, it's doing bad stuff. But I think the big brain is we don't know what the fuck is even being transferred, or if a meaningful transfer is happening, or if this is just some default power on test to make sure that this service is running, or we don't really have any information whatsoever. We just see a little small printout. I don't even know what the fuck this machine is or what it's supposed to do, or what does the top of this receipt say? Completed printing, write-in review request.
The voting machine tapes clearly indicate modem engagement and transmission of election data.
Like, that statement is meaningless.
Some of the anomalies that we noticed in the...
Like, that doesn't mean anything. Actually, so, like, I know for a fact that they have, like, just by seeing this is what I like sometimes about lying. And I think it's why lying is so much more interesting. When somebody just says things that they think are true, you don't really have any fucking idea. They might be stupid, they might be retarded, they might, like, who knows? Maybe they really believe it. When somebody lies, lying implies a higher level of intentionality, which usually shows a little bit more effort than what the service statement means. Like, just by seeing this, I'm very confident that whatever they looked at on these machines, there is absolutely no proof that they actually transmitted anything meaningful to any type of foreign IPs, or they had any evidence of this. Because this does not show that. The fact that they're not showing us this entire receipt, the fact that they can't speak with any detail, with any certainty.
Voting machine
so,
tapes
for instance,
clearly indicate modem engagement and transmission of election data.
what is this file? What is it transferring? This transfer is completed for file, whatever. Like, if that was really important, I feel like you would say something about that, no? But I have no fucking idea. I don't know, it's retarded. This is just retarded. I don't even know if that came from that machine. Yeah, who the fuck knows?
Some of the...
I don't even know. But all of these things, it's just like the 2000 Mule shit is all fucking retarded. These addresses are local LOL. It could literally just be an RFC, a message sent to another software component within the same machine. Yeah, sure, I guess. That could be it too, I guess. I don't know if you would go to that. Somebody get the layers. Would you normally go to the IP layer to transfer within a machine? I mean, I guess you could. I don't know. I don't host shit. I don't know what the fuck. Apache or any of these fucking loser hosting private local networks. Who's got time for that? I have a modem. I'm a real American. I plug in a big phone cable. We call it an Ethernet cable. That's all I know about routing. I plug it in and it works. Suck my dick. If you have a service hosted locally on the same machine, you connect to it via IP/port. Are all of the services connected via IP? There's no way that's true. When I push Control-Shift-Escape and I look at services running, all of these are connected on the fucking IP layer or whatever? Is that true?
Wait, what? Sorry.
For services that run on Windows, all those services are connected on the... These are all hosted on like local
ports, but not necessarily accessible by anyone else requesting your machine. There's different types.
No, there are many ways for inter-process communication. Okay. Yeah, okay.
I don't know what we're asking.
That guy was cringe. Destiny, this machine is absolutely shipped with modem functionality. The initial mention of the chip is just an attempt to poison the well, make you think foreign chips are embedded. Yeah, I mean, like, the words that they're using here are also loaded, but this is, like, stuff that's so boring to me. Like, when somebody's like, it's embedded with a chip from Taiwan. Like, we used to make a joke. We had jokes like this in fucking high school, where it's like, what do you do for work? Me? I do financial management for one of the largest market cap companies in the United States, in the world or whatever that exists. Like, what do you do? I'm a cashier for McDonald's. Like, this retarded shit like that. Like, that's embedded with chips from Taiwan. Like, aren't all fucking microprocessors made in Taiwan? Like, what the fuck does that even mean? It's a modem, bro. Wait, like, you could fucking play video games with it or download child porn with it. Or if you're Epstein, you could do both. Actually, that's not true, because I guess you got banned from Xbox Live, so.
What is all this stuff about Fortnite also?
What do you mean? That's the place to go to find kids.
No, like, apparently he has a Fortnite account, and people, obviously he doesn't. Obviously he's dead, but people are losing their fucking marbles thinking that Epstein is playing Fortnite in Israel. This is what I'm talking about. I can be the chosen one. You don't understand. I can be the chosen. I can come up with so much better conspiracies than this. This is fucking...
Go get him.
We need a better class of villain. Actually, we don't, but yeah.
I noticed Jane Doe's been zeeting a lot lately. Does she gave up on the case? She gave up on that case like fucking months ago, my dude. She gave up on that case 6 months. She gave up after the water analogy, okay? That's when I saw the life leave her eyes. The service has the ability to serve off device connections. Probably also on-device connections are done with IP, but just referring to localhost on 127. Okay. White House defends AI video of Obama's as apes posted on Donald Trump's Truth Social account. Wait. Oh, they backtracked after defending AI videos. Oh, like because they deleted it or they've been removed. A White House staffer erroneously made the post. It has been taken down. I think that is what happened. It looked like a mistake. Like they were scrolling while they were screen recording or something, got fucked. Because then it played like the first like 2 seconds of that video.
Not good.
I'm sure you said it, but what is the current status and expectation for the lawsuit? Whether the win or loss is not the question. The question is just how long can they drag it out. The hope is that it gets dismissed soon. Worst case scenario, because the judge is busy, then maybe we go all the way to trial. I can't imagine they would want to, but just a matter of time. But we're just chilling.
Clip 4. Is it the case?
Oh no, he got the socialist mustache. Fuck. What is... Should I watch Hassan's whole speech on this thing? It sounds super memey. What is this?
Instances where I get something wrong. We're human after all. I will apologize for it and I'll retract the statement. And there is this constant back and forth that's always taking place that keeps me as honest as possible with the audience. If there's something that I've gotten wrong, they'll immediately be like, this is something that is incorrect. And they'll send additional information. I'll verify it on the spot.
Bruh, this vocabulary. Oh my god. It's so propagandy. So yeah, me and my audience, we are engaged in a real-time collaborative effort to investigate the claims that we see laid out to us by the media every single day. And the thing that I appreciate the most is the ability for my audience to, in real time, fact check and verify the unbelievable amount of information that I have to consume and then disseminate to my audience on a daily basis. And they keep me honest. We operate with a high degree of integrity. They trust but verify.
And we'll continue with the coverage that way.
Bro, there's just no way. How do you have the audacity to get on stage and just blatantly lie about everything?
Yeah.
This guy just said, if I get something wrong, I apologize and I issue a retraction. I'm sorry, is the apology in the room with us right now? Is the apology here on planet Earth? Or did you send it to fucking Mars, bro? You have not apologized for shit. You have not apologized for shocking your dog with 10,000 lightning bolts. In fact, you did the exact opposite. You literally lied in 10 different ways and basically did everything humanly possible to actually cover it up, right? Projection Piker taking over again. He says that other people, other commentators don't verify their information and they just have biased narratives, right? Hassan, of course, would never be biased. He's never been biased in his entire life. He actually fact checks everything. Where's the fact check? Literally just asking his Twitch chat.
But as far as the responsibility goes, it's still up to the individual, right? I don't have an editorial team. I don't have fact checkers that are working in real time. And it's just something that I have to make sure I care about.
Like, to be clear, that's by choice. You're making more than every single person working in media besides people with huge equity stakes or like fucking CEOs. Like you make like 10x or 50x, depending on what level of reporter or journalist we're talking about, like the salary of any of these people.
Some independent content creators don't, especially in this new media environment where everyone wants to be first to market. We do see a lot of people that either go along with biased narratives or sometimes refuse to verify the information that's coming out and immediately blurt it out because they want to be first to market. They want to get the maximum amount of attention possible.
That sounds like a JDAM, guys.
So it's unfortunately up to the individual, and I don't know what the best possible way of checking all of the independent resources are.
Oh, come on, Hassan. You know the best way to verify information. I mean, you do it all the time. You open up Twitter and you believe the first tweet that you see. I mean, that is literally your mode of operation, right? You find a bunch of deranged lunatics that blindly sort of agree with you and have been brainwashed and brain broken by politics, and you just blindly believe them. You basically pretend they are the official source, the actual facts, and then you just run with the story. You know, one of you guys actually left the funniest comment that was so true, that Hassan's source is his chat and his chat source is him. So it's like this never-ending loop of like a snake that eats itself. Also, this guy literally just went, some content creators are very biased and they don't verify their info. And you know he's just dying to spin the wheel, you know, bring up one of the names, bring up Asmongold. He's literally edging right now. This is the equivalent of edging for Hassan Piker.
Wow. Clear video of Hassan crashing out at a black viewer 4 months ago. Wait, why was I? Did we watch this? We probably did.
Suck my fucking cock.
Oh yeah, we did. What the fuck? He's not mentioning Destiny? Pretty sure that guy has called me a pedophile multiple times, so. King.
Alright, Arc Raiders, a fairly demanding title. The game can run well on low to medium settings. That's on the display's native resolution of 2880 by 1800. We used XeSS upscaling to achieve these results. Intel has several options available. Ultra Performance renders at the lowest base resolution, so it gives you the most frames, but the least visual quality. Ultra Quality, on the other hand, does the opposite. It renders at a higher base resolution, so the game looks better, but you don't get as many extra frames. Now, you may be wondering why we just didn't run the game at a lower resolution. Surely it will be fine on a small 14-inch display, particularly say 1440 by 900, which is a quarter of this display's native resolution. Two issues with this approach. Firstly, you'd lose the anti-aliasing that upscaling provides, so diagonal lines and edges, they just wouldn't appear as sharp. Secondly, the UI elements would be a bit fuzzy, like your ammo counter or mini-map. With upscaling, the UI is actually...
How many hertz is your laptop monitor? I think it's 120 or plus. Is it 240?
I have no idea. I'm guessing 240.
I think it's 120. 240 is a lot. That's a lot of hertz. I get worried sometimes upping screens. I think 120 still looks pretty good to me. A 60 hertz monitor is very hard to look at now. Well, let's see. I'm pretty sure I can see a big difference between 240 and 120. 240 is buttery smooth, but let's see. Maybe I'm retarded and my monitor's still set to 120. Oh no, it's 240. Okay. 240 is very, ooh, that's like some good shit.
All right, it's HDR time. I'm gonna let you get to it.
Okay, be careful.
Do the HDR stuff. I want to learn with you, so that's why I'm not going to be in here.
Okay.
Okay? About broadcasting and playing games in OBS and all that.
Gotcha. I'll be starting that video in about 5 hours.
Rendered at the display's native resolution. It's only the gameplay itself that is upscaled. Back on Arc Raiders, we found XeSS Ultra Performance and medium settings was the best balance of visual fidelity and playability, an average FPS close to 70 and 1% lows of 44. If you do want more frames, you can drop down to low settings. On that setting, you can even up XeSS a notch to performance. We felt the bump up in visual quality of medium settings was worth the performance hit. Now on all settings we tried...
Could video games please do this thing? You used to do this for old games, but I haven't seen it in any new games recently. I guess I don't play many games, maybe there are some. On a lot of older games, like the 2000s, I feel like games used to have this option where you go to option graphics and there would be like a run benchmark where it would have like a predetermined scene, and then it would be like a minute of like walking through a couple different terrains, and it was like the easiest, best way to benchmark your graphics card using the most real world shit you can. And then you're guaranteed to have the exact same run through, the exact same renderings, the exact same events, everything. Final Fantasy XIV does this every expansion. Cyberpunk and Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay, maybe more games too. Just the ones I played just haven't. Okay.
We did notice some occasional hitching in this game. You'd be running around and there was a sudden stutter. Unreal Engine 5 games are notorious for such issues, and that is well documented. We also noticed this in Fortnite, which is another UE5 game. We actually tested that game on a much more powerful gaming laptop, the Asus Zephyrus G16 with the 5070 Ti. It also exhibited the occasional micro stutter, so likely not an Intel issue.
Whoa!
Next up, we have the 2025 award-winning game Clair Obscure Expedition 33.
Whoa!
This title is really...
Oh, fuck, I have to get out of the intro area so I can beat the DLC for this game. Fuck!
Hitting the limit of what this X9 processor can handle. Even on the lowest possible settings, you're still getting sub 60 frames per second on average.
Whoa.
That being said, this game is still somewhat...
Why the fuck was I linked this benchmark? Can Intel's new iGPU... Oh, integrated GPU. Oh.
Playable. We had a little debate about this one in the office. You see, all of us agreed that for a title like this one that isn't...
It's just an area, it's not much? Well, yeah, but like, do you get achievements for it? Because I feel like I don't have 100% achievements in the game anymore.
a fast-paced game, you can get away with less frames. That being said, I wouldn't want to play on anything that didn't hit around 50 to 60 FPS on average. Now, Seth and Sierra felt lower is okay. That's if you're used to console or handheld gaming where you can get less than 60 FPS. Now, if you are going to play Claire on this hardware, we recommend setting XeSS to performance. You see, even though you lose a couple of frames on ultra performance, the game just lacked clarity. On that note, we did find the visual fidelity looked a good amount better if you step up to the game's medium settings, especially lighting. I'm going to call a spade though. The integrated GPU in the X9, it really isn't going to give you the experience you probably want in this game. Next, we tried Space Marine 2. We knew this one was going to be rough going in, so we only tried the lower settings with FSR upscaling set to ultra performance.
Help me with my homework for my sysadmin class. I have to build a PC for Arc Raiders. Well, sounds like something your mom. I'm too lazy to make a joke, sorry. What is this? This was the release trailer, or the launch trailer. Not the launch trailer. This is a reveal trailer for what Arc Raiders was originally going to be.
Queens. We will not die in the shadows.
Before there was any
We
PvP.
will face our fears head on.
Wow. Look at them blow those robots up. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Watch it. Scout ahead.
Right there.